English is not an easy language to learn, but it is simpler than you might think. If you're struggling with it, you are not alone. Keep watching to learn why your English isn't where you'd like it to be and the 2 quickest ways to change that. Over the last 14 years, I've been teaching non-native English speakers how to speak English clearly and with greater confidence. And fluency is a topic that comes up over and over again. My students are always asking, how can I become more and more fluent? So let's go ahead and talk about my 2 greatest tips for this. Most non-native speakers think that speaking fluently means speaking fast. And this is absolutely not true, okay? The opposite is true. The faster you speak, the more errors you're going to make. It's going to make it much harder to understand you, and that's going to make you sound less fluent to a native speaker. So the number 1 trick is to slow down. Speaking too fast is the number 1 way for you to ruin a potentially great and connecting conversation. So I like to use this example with my students. Okay, say you're walking with a friend, and you guys are walking together, okay? And you guys are at the same pace, but then all of a sudden you start walking really fast. Well, then that other person has to speed up to catch up with you. And then you walk even faster, and then they have to speed up, okay? So this difference in the speed can be really frustrating for both of you, okay? Your walking partner wants to keep up with you, but you keep going fast, and maybe you're changing it from fast to slow, and it can be really frustrating. So let's compare this to speaking English. So you're speaking fast, and your listener is really trying to keep up with you, and there's a few pronunciation mistakes in there that they're trying to figure out along the way, okay? But you keep speaking faster and faster. Now, in your mind, you're thinking, okay, I'm sounding more fluent because I'm matching their speed. But really what's happening is just creating a frustrating situation because your listener really wants to hear what you have to say, and they're trying to piece it together with maybe some pronunciation mistakes, but you keep speaking faster and faster, and eventually they may give up or they may just get too frustrated for it. So we don't want this situation. We want a really connecting, good conversation for you. So that starts with slowing down. So that is the number 1 way you can sound more fluent. As you slow down, what happens is it gives your mind time to think about the words that you want to use. It gives time for your mouth to get in position. So you're going to decrease the number of mistakes that you're making in your English just by slowing down. This tool is going to make the biggest difference for you, okay? So as you slow it down and you give your listener time, you have time to think about it, you have time to get your mouth in position, it gives your listener time to keep up with what you're saying, and you guys can have a really good connecting conversation. All right? You're walking at the same pace that you can keep up with each other. So what if your conversational partner speaks really quickly? What do? Do you match that pace or what? And my advice is don't match their speed. You go at your own speed. You maintain your fluency by speaking slowly and controlled, giving your mouth and your mind time to keep that fluency going. And eventually, as you improve your spoken English, as you get comfortable at that slower speed and you're able to get your mouth and your mind coordinated enough to be able to speak fluently at that slower speed, then you can start speeding up. And eventually you'll be able to match their speed, but not yet, and that's okay. All right, so the second trick I have for you when it comes to sounding fluent in American English is the skill of linking, okay? Linking is connecting one word to the next. So in my program, I really dissect this and we go through, going from consonant to vowel and consonant to consonant and consonant in the same position. But really the main concept of it is there's the ending sound of one word, there's the beginning sound of another. And we want to connect those words together without choppiness. So what I hear sometimes is, we are going to the store, okay? They're trying to get that pronunciation as precise as possible and they're chopping it up, okay? But we want flow. Fluency is flow from one word to the next. Has a lot to do with the rhythm. So when we are linking or we're focused on linking, it helps us create that smooth rhythm and that connection from one word to the next, okay? We are going to the store. We are going to the store. We are going. We are going to the store. So my voice is staying on through that whole sentence, and it creates this connection and fluency, kind of like riding a wave. All right. So as you come across a sentence that you're like, oh, my mouth just doesn't want to move from one position to the next, what you have to do is really just break down that sentence and say, okay, I want to go to the store. I want to go. So to go, maybe that T to the G is not flowing as easy as you want. Want to go, to the, go to. So you break down the sentence and make sure that you can connect from ending sound of one word to the beginning sound of the other. Now, I always encourage my students to read out loud for at least 2 minutes every day. This is their deliberate practice when it comes to learning how to improve their spoken American English. Okay, so as you're reading out loud, you're looking at the text and you're saying, okay, sentence by sentence, how can I focus on linking, connecting one word to the next, and go word by word, sentence by sentence, and create that flow and connection, okay? I really want you to practice this, because as you practice slowing down, you're reading out loud, you're practicing slowing down and linking, you're gonna create incredible fluency for yourself. Now, I've seen this with my students as they put this practice into place and they do that consistent daily practice. What they're doing is they're really training their mouth and their mind to speak in this more slower, controlled, fluent American English, okay? Your mouth needs that training. It needs to be speaking out loud. And when you can read out loud with your focus on slowing down and linking and connecting, you're gonna create fluency that you've never been able to have before, okay? Give it a try. I promise it's going to work for you. So in this video, I talked about fluency and how to create greater fluency in your American English. In the next video, I'm going to talk about how to speak American English like a native speaker.